Here we go. Here we go. The market opens in 1 second, and AMC is pulling back. We have the AGM today. Freaking the guy from Nikola was charged with fraud, so that's dropping. Always do good, man. Bad karma comes around. And we have, of course, the notorious IPO from Robinhood, ticker symbol Hood, today. I'm excited for that actually. Robinhood Markets, it is pricing at 38 bucks. As you can see here, it's showing 38. Let's look at the level 2. There's no bid or ask yet. So let's wait and see. Hopefully this wasn't a buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing with AMC. And which maybe that might be the case, but hopefully we don't come down and test that support level. What's going on, Rob? Hopefully you have an amazing day, Rob. It's his birthday today. I eat chicken. What's going on? I never understood the high-low part. Diddy? What's going on with Diddy? Oh, we're rebounding on this one. I guess Kramer was right, huh? I guess Kramer was right. Let's see. There's also this massive earthquake in Alaska, by the way. Let's pull up Ortex. I don't want to pull my eye off of AMC because I'm actually interested in buying on the dip, but have a feeling if I don't keep an eye on it, it's gonna drop under. Because this one's a quick one. This one was really, really quick. All right, let's go AMC. What's going on, Lousy? All right, we're seeing a nice bounce here at 37.80. Ortex AMC data. It's showing 15.46% with an increase of 3.25%. So there was actually quite an increase. I believe of 1% from like Monday's data. We're showing like 14.8, right under 1%. Not bad. Plans for the Robinhood IPO. I'm excited for the IPO, by the way. I actually want to trade it, but I've always gotten wrecked on IPOs. I mean, look what happened on Coinbase. I was actually up money on Coinbase when it hit like 419. And then you know what happened from there. Everything went downhill. Literally, no bounce on Coinbase at all. AMC, let's have a red to green move today. We should have a nasty green day today, guys. 8.2 earthquake, Alaska. What's going on, Darth? Darth is right here. Former Nikola CEO Milton charged with 3 counts of fraud by DOJ. SEC files parallel charges. There's a lot of false statements.
Some breaking news right now on Nikola founder Trevor Milton. I want to get right over to Phil LeBeau, who joins us with the details. What's going on, Phil?
Andrew, federal charges will be filed today against Trevor Milton. We just received the announcement from the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. The charges will involve making false and misleading statements to Nikola investors. Remember, Trevor Milton was the founder and the one-time CEO and chairman of Nikola until everything came crashing down. I want to say it was about a year ago. I don't have the exact dates. And remember, all of this started initially with Hindenburg Research saying, hey, look, a lot of the comments and the claims that were made by Trevor Milton and by Nikola regarding the ability of their semis to power themselves, videos that were shot, etc., that
The video he's talking about is the video where they pushed the truck down the hill. Oh my gosh.
they're not accurate. They weren't accurate at the time. And ultimately, Trevor Milton was bounced out of the job at Nikola. Remember, they had the deal that was initially announced with General Motors, where General Motors was going to take a stake in them and did take a stake in them and was going to be a key partner in the development of Nikola. That ultimately fell apart, and now they have no more than a supplier and customer arrangement, even though Nikola is not yet supplying any product to General Motors. So again, Trevor Milton, the founder and former CEO of Nikola, will be charged today by the federal government. Charges will be announced by the Southern District of New York at 11 a.m. As soon as we have more details about the indictment, guys, we'll send it to you.
There you have it. The other day it was interesting because we were talking about Martin Shkreli, and you know how you guys brought up the fact that he bought the Wu-Tang album for like a couple $1 million. The next day, kid you not, we were just speaking about this. Whoever had that album, they sold it for like way more than what he had bought it for. So it's not even his anymore, just to pay down the debt he had. Isn't that crazy? Let's go to Twitter, see what's trending. AMC nice bounce. Let's have a green day. We need that move to green. Tesla's doing really well, 654. SPY new high 440. Nasdaq gripping. Apple come back to 150 so we can short you. I wonder what time the IPO. The IPO is usually in like a couple hours. Jobless claims is trending. What did the claims come in at? Let's see. The number of Americans filing for the first time jobless claims was worse than expected last week at 400K versus 385K expected. Rob says it came down like 24K. Right. Last week was 419. But still above the expectations slightly. Is anybody else here gonna buy the IPO? Or at least try to trade the IPO? Not my type of pattern of chicken. I don't like the stock. It's too dead. It's too dead. There's no volume. That's exactly what we've been saying, Rob. As long as those unemployment checks still come in, there's no reason to go to work. Especially when they're getting paid more than somebody that's actually employed. Doesn't make sense. You guys really want to see a Robinhood IPO tank? I think it'll do the same thing every IPO does. It'll have its little run up, you know. It'll People get excited and then they're gonna pull the rug. I'm not gonna hold it, 'cause you know what happened with Coinbase. Let's see. Let's try to look up the time. Hood time. Robinhood IPO time. I also have a feeling the prices might be a little bit higher. They're saying $38 a share, but that's always BS. It always tends to rise right before the opening. The AMC kids are gonna try and kill Robinhood. They're gonna get squeezed. They're gonna get wrecked. Just like they're trying to squeeze AMC, the funds are gonna try to squeeze Robinhood and wreck all the shorters. They're gonna flip the script on us. I need to know a time. AMC is only half a dollar from green, baby. Oh, Tesla 657. All right, I guess I won't be trading this today. There's no opportunity for me to buy the dip just yet. Unless we see some nasty drops. I ain't buying. 440 on SPY. There we go. We're only 20 cents away from green. $14. We're about to go green. No news just yet. Of course, Tilray will be there on Wall Street Bets top 20 trending. Surprised no other stocks in that sector are there. GameStop, Facebook, Alibaba, AMC, ETF, the triple Qs. I guess people are buying like spy calls. Hedge funds get their revenge. I'm bored of GameStop and AMC. I've always just had other stocks on watch as well because it's already gonna be 8 months of just watching the same stock every day. It gets to you, man. And this is coming from somebody who's not in like waiting for a squeeze. Like I'm not fully invested in just hoping and praying it squeezes. There's people out there that are fully invested on money they can't lose and they're just waiting. There we go. It's green. It just went green like it should. We should have a green day today. 39.15. 39.30. Let's go back to Ortex. Ortex. Still showing 15.45%. I think the highest we saw here was 19 according to Ortex. I'd like to know a time on the IPO. Because I know we usually stream for 1 hour. I don't want to miss this. I know why Tesla's rallying today. I forgot. Tesla AI Day, August 19. You guys know what happens on these events they have. It's literally a bust. Like what happened with Battery Day. That was just so hyped up and it just plunged. So this is why we're seeing the rally here, the reaction. Wouldn't be surprised if we hit like 670s today. Tesla's been having those choppy, ugly days. Look at this. Look at on Tuesday. Look at Wednesday. Choppy, nothing going on. So I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 670 today on Tesla. Sucks I'm not in and I missed that move, but it is what it is. The opportunities shall present themselves today. Let's go to SPCE. Above 30 still nice. What's going on, Vinny? Oh yeah, I figured Facebook tumbled off of earnings too. I think they had beat both ways, EPS and revenue. Yep, they beat EPS, revenue. Look at all these headlines. Advertising sales 28.58 billion. Total sales 29 billion, beat the 27 estimate, and we still plunged. Cautious outlook. There we go. That's why we're pulling back. Alrighty, we're at $39 on AMC. This places us back to right under yesterday's high of 39.56. 4 hour. If we can break 40, guys, I think we can hit 45. Did you guys all get to vote, by the way? Take a look at your proxy. I'm pretty sure you should have received it via email. 4-2 as well. I know. I peeped the 40 yesterday. Let's see. Oh, the estimate was negative, and they actually had positive. AMC still pushing here, 39.30, only a couple cents off the highs of yesterday. GameStop kind of waking up here too. Oh, the S&P 500 actually hit a new high. Go to Twitter to see what people are saying about Hood. There's no way that Robinhood stock doesn't close at 69 today. Um, Hood IPO 39 still. Yeah, who just uploaded Hood. It should be like in a couple hours. I just kind of want to know the time so I won't miss it. That's actually the #1 trending ticker on Yahoo Finance, by the way. It's Hood, Didi, PayPal, of course, Nokia and MA. MasterCard. Surprised Nicola's not on there. Giving the company a $32 billion valuation. Since all the AMC kids are shorting Hood, I am buying. To be honest, I don't think a lot of like the AMC people have the ability to short. I think so. That's just like my wild guess. I don't think they'll have the. A lot of them are on Webull, right? Or where did they all flock to? Like Fidelity. I've seen so many posts like stop using Webull, we'll go to Fidelity. I don't know how easy it is to short on Fidelity. Why is the IPO not moving? It's not live yet, Disney fan. It should be live. Usually IPOs go live like 1 hour before lunch here, uh, Pacific time, so like 11. So that would be like 4 hours or so, I would say. That was like the Coinbase IPO, which that turned out to be a nightmare. That's the definition of take your profits and walk away. No, once I sell, it's gonna go up for sure. That's my bad luck. Robinhood had around 17.7 million users at the end of March. When did you guys join Robinhood? I have my mixed feelings about Robinhood. They're actually the first broker I used. Without Robinhood, I don't think I would have ever started trading, to be honest. They just made everything so simple. And just the software, the user interface was so simple. I liked it a lot. And then you start uncovering the truth, and then I think the Robinhood outage back in March of 2020, it cost me like 30 or so grand just because I wasn't able to sell because the broker was down for 2 days. I remember Monday and Tuesday due to the market was pulling back. That's why. Mid-March. You guys know what happened. And I was just like, no more Robinhood. Never, never. So I have my mixed feelings about it. It's always the restrictions of the shutdowns of the brokerage that obviously costs a lot of people money. And in my case, I remember I had puts. So the market went up and I got wrecked. But the people who got stuck holding calls, it was like the biggest blessing ever. They weren't able to sell their calls and the market just rallied like crazy. See Tesla really quick. Still showing very, very strong signs of support. Nasdaq nice. Let's say another on SPY. Back to AMC, still fighting 39. Give it some time. What's going on, Julio? No, I haven't done any DD on IBRX. Community bio stocks. Be careful. I usually keep like the pool stocks I'm watching like very limited. I think the more stocks I watch, the more distracted you get. Ralph Jones. That's the thing. I always told myself I'm not gonna swing like close positions at the end of the day. That's why it was so hard for me to hold on to like AMC and GameStop. Like it just went against all the rules I had put for myself. And it worked so well. I told myself, all right, you know what? Maybe I can be a good swing trader. And every single time I would swing, I would lose. And I tell myself like, this is why I don't do it. And then I would have I went a whole month without losing in trading. A whole month. Go back to my videos in January. No red days. And I was like, you know what? Let's go back to trying swing trading. And I would break that streak every time I would swing trade. So AMC and GameStop came along and they were just something different. I was like, might as well just hold on to these. Nicola is still trading with a $5 billion valuation and seems like no one cares. But the whole thing is a fraud. It's like Ride, Lordstown. I don't know I don't know who would still buy this. I really don't. That'll be a laugh. -5 turkeys. That CEO is probably living, or that former CEO is probably living his best life, man. Out in the middle of nowhere, nobody to bother him. Nicola revenue per year 0.00000. They took the same consistency as Key a little too serious. That's a good one. Robinhood has created a new way to potentially lose money buying its IPO. This stock is similar to a streetwalker in the hood. Let's see what Kramer has tweeted. He's probably talking about the IPO. Let's do the opposite of what he says. Oh, his tweet 60 minutes ago. Tenev rebels with the cause, the customer, Ford, and Hood. Nope. The best call last night was Ford, with the company CEO shocked the analysts with a genuine upside surprise since 2011. Blah blah blah. Wall-to-wall coverage on the Robinhood deal today. I guess he's on CNBC right now. I haven't seen CNBC in like a month or so. So let's pull it up really quick. Hopefully they're non-commercial like they always are when we pull it up. No, they are not. They're talking about some other stock. Moments away. Robinhood CEO live on CNBC. Nice. So I know it's muted, but I have it muted on purpose so you guys don't hear this guy. Doesn't Robinhood do crypto too? Yes. All right, there's Jim. Let's see this ticker. Ooh, this is the ticker they're talking about. Look at it go, 609. Look at the swings on this. Are you kidding me? 608. Is it going to hit 609? It's up 4%. All right, this is Hood. Ooh. All right, that's his last question. We have Robinhood CEO Vlad on next. AMC breaking now, 39.50. What are we at? Like 2 cents away from the high. There we go. New high, 39.58, 39.60. Take us back to $40. I guess this is safe to say that this was a reversal here. These higher lows are still forming, so take us back to the mid 40s, AMC.
Over Zoom and doing things digitally when we can fully get back and engage with customers. The future is bright, Jim.
No, I agree. You're all-time high. Bill McDermott, thank you so much. CEO of ServiceNow. Great stock, great company, great CEO. Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
When we come back, Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev at the top of the hour as we do get fresh record highs on the Dow, on the S&P. VIX back to 17.5. We're back in a moment.
All right. Let's change this really quick. New high 39.90. So once again, we're retesting that resistance at the whole number of $40. Can we break that? On Monday, we were actually at 40.70, but of course, you know what happened Tuesday. We actually pulled back. So let's see if we can actually sustain ourselves here. Above 40 close today would be perfect. Well, it's Thursday, right? I'd be setting us up for tomorrow. We also have the meeting later on today. 40.18, nice. GameStop's also waking up. Ooh, Virgin Galactic's coming down. Tesla hit 662. Is the SPY still going? No, 440s. Heat map check. Nice. I would really like to see closer around 42 tomorrow. Maybe today. We don't know. It's still very early in the day. We're only like 8 minutes or so into the market open. We have a whole trading day ahead of us. And knowing the days where AMC tends to hold support midday and continue on to push higher, I wouldn't be surprised if we see higher than 40. We're above 40 now. Look at this. We're waiting for Mr. Vlad Tenev, CEO of Robinhood. He's going to be on CNBC right now. I'm even getting Twitter ads that say, "Welcome to the new Wall Street. Today's a big day." You are 100% shaking up the industry with us. What did he say? 50% first-time investors, 70% investors under the age of 40. You are part of the new generation of investors, blah, blah, blah. You redefine culture. They have the rocket. They have this guy up here, the Stonks guy. HODL, Wall Street. They have pictures of the moon, Dogecoin attendees. They really know how to tap into culture. So now that we kind of missed the train on some of these stocks, on the dips, might be one of those days where you just wait for the IPO. Oh, I think they're on.
Good Thursday morning. Welcome to another hour of Squawk on the Street. I'm Carl Quintanilla with Jim Cramer, David Faber, Morgan Brennan here at Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. In just a moment, you don't want to miss it. The CEO of Robinhood, Vlad Tenev, is going to join us on IPO day. Got record highs on the Dow and the S&P this morning. But first, We're going to get to pending home sales in just a moment. One thing, Jim, we didn't get to was GDP at 6.5. We were looking for 8.4.
Right.
Still the best Q2 in several decades, but a lot of discussion about whether the inventories dinged us.
Right, but I mean, look, there are people, I can give you the rap of rich people, which is, did you hear the clueless Fed chief say that we're going to stay the course when we're going to have giant GDP? And I think the answer is that Jay Powell is looking at, has done a lot of work on the Delta variant, and is very fearful that it's going to that there'll be shutdowns again in some places if it really does accentuate. So that's why I think he had to do what he had to do.
Right. And maybe one reason why futures really didn't move around on the miss.
Yes.
In the meantime, online stock trading platform Robinhood will make its public debut today. The hotly anticipated IPO is a 5-time CNBC disruptor, pricing at 38, the bottom end of the range, values the company at just about $32 billion. As we await the first trade, let's get to the NASDAQ, where our Andrew Ross Sorkin is joined by Vlad Tenev. Hey, Andrew.
Hey there. It's great to see you, Carl, and it's great to be here with the CEO of Robinhood, co-founder. 8 years ago, Vlad. 8 years ago, right? More than 8 years ago, you co-founded this company.
8 years, but 6 years after we launched our product. So it's been amazing.
You know, more than anything, this company now represents this retail trading movement. And so, before we even talk about the company, what does this moment represent to you?
I mean, it's a very special moment for me and for my co-founder. We came here as immigrants to this country. You know, I came at JFK Airport right here in New York. And then 30 years later, less than 30 years later, we're here and starting from nothing, created this company that serves over 22 million customers.
So lots of questions about this offering. And in particular, I mentioned the retail investor. What's so unique about this offering is how much presence of retail investors there is going to be in this stock now. How do you think about that? And do you know how much has been allocated to the retail versus institutions?
Oh, it's certainly going to be one of the largest retail allocations ever. And I think when you hear the mission of Robinhood to democratize finance for all, it's really about giving access to everyone what was once reserved for the 1% or the very wealthy. So it makes a lot of sense, very consistent with how we've always operated. So we're proud to have one of the largest retail allocations.
Do you know the number though? Because I know it was going to be somewhere between 20% and 35%. We've been hearing it's somewhere in that range. But can you pin it down for us?
I can't unfortunately share the exact allocation details, other than to say we're very proud to give our customers access.
How will it change the way you think that you'll run the company and communicate with the investor base? And the reason I ask is the retail investor base is a very different type of investor base. We've seen, for example, that the retail investor base, at least over the past couple of weeks when it came to the Lucid SPAC, for example, they don't vote. It's harder to reach them. You know, AMC has now had some issues in terms of getting the vote from shareholders on certain issues.
Yeah, I think it's certainly something we're interested in. You probably saw that we did a customer roadshow last weekend, and we're going to try new things. We think that it's important not just for retail investors to participate, but for there to be dialogue between retail investors and the companies that they're invested in. So it's definitely something that you'll see us engaging with, and I think the customer roadshow was one example of new things we can do.
You talked about democratizing investing, and that you have very much done, but it's also come with this question about payment for order flow and whether the customer is not the customer, whether the Robinhood customer is really not the one that's paying for all of this, but it is the quote-unquote establishment, right? And it's the Citadels of the world, it's the Virtus of the world that are actually paying 75% of the revenues that the company gets. What do you say about that, and how do you explain it?
Yeah, it doesn't resonate with me. This business model that we've helped pioneer, which is now the standard business model for retail brokerage in the U.S., has allowed so many more people to participate and has led to an aggregate, lots more money being put into customers' pockets rather than corporate profits. So we're proud to have passed back more value to customers, and we'll continue to keep doing that. I think eliminating commissions was really just the start.
What do you think the risk, though, long term is to the business model of payment for order flow, given how much of how big a percentage of your revenue it represents?
Well, I do think we're going to have to keep a dialogue with the public, with the media about what payment for order flow is. I think you've probably seen me over the past couple of months engaging more openly in the topic. And the truth is, I think it could be better explained, and we could continue to do that. And I think we'll continue defending it as something that has led to a much greater diverse set of people participating in the markets. And I think from a business level, you'll see Robinhood continue to diversify its business lines and its revenue over time. I mean, in particular, just in the past couple of quarters, even within transaction-based revenue, you've seen cryptocurrency take a larger share.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, which is that a huge part of the business became Dogecoin in the quarter prior. And whether you believe that that's sustainable, what that ultimately means to the business when we have these sort of meme moments.
I mean, my philosophy, the philosophy of Robinhood, is to make it as easy as possible to participate. And on the brokerage side, the goal is really how do you take first-time investors and turn them into long-term investors? And you've seen that through a lot of the products that we've rolled out recently, fractional shares, DRIP, recurring investments. We're seeing a lot of really exciting engagement with those, and we're going to continue making them better and better. So, of course, there's going to be idiosyncratic moments where something becomes more culturally relevant, like a particular cryptocurrency or a particular stock. And of course, we have to be available for our customers.
But speak to this, because it's the thing that I think feels at odds. On the business model does rely on, to some degree, volatility, trading, options, crypto on that side. And on the other side, I know that the company is spending an inordinate amount of time trying to both educate investors and trying to push the idea that these are long-term investors. But the longer-term investor is not going to be as profitable investor.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're optimizing for happy customers, and we're optimizing for the long term. So making first-time investors into long-term investors and giving people more selection and diversifying the product suite based on what customers tell us. They tell us they want help spending, saving money. We want to offer all of those things. So I think over the long run, if we focus on happy customers and they use our products, we'll have diversified revenue, and it'll be fundamentally very, very good for the business.
What's the chance that Robinhood itself becomes a meme stock? Have you thought about that?
That's very self-referential. No, I haven't thought about it much.
But in terms, and this goes to the communication issue, though. I mean, you occasionally see Ryan Cohen when it comes to, GameStop. He'll put out a tweet. I don't know if it's intentional or not. I think it probably isn't. But he'll put, a picture of an ice cream cone, and all of a sudden, there's folks on Reddit who think, are trying to divine meaning into that. And so, how you think about, again, this goes to how you communicate and what you say, and whether you think that actually, literally a tweet can move the stock.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's interesting with what we've seen in retail investing over the past year is that a lot of these companies have been hit hard by the pandemic, right? And you see it started with some of the airlines, and then followed with some of the retailers, some movie chains, and brick and mortar.
Right.
And you have the institutions that are basically writing these companies off, and then retail investors coming in and keeping them up and supporting them.
But does that make sense to you? When you look at an AMC stock, for example, or any of these others that have moved in this way, do you say this is healthy for the markets? Do you say this is unhealthy for the markets?
Well, I probably shouldn't comment on my own views
but I assume you must have
stocks.
views about whether, but it's a phenomenon, and it's a phenomenon impacted in large part by your own users. And so I'm curious sort of how you personally think about it.
I think it's a real thing. I mean, customers, there's customers that love these companies. They want them to thrive, and you're seeing them also get resources that allow them to hire really good management teams in some cases, and then build for the future. So I think it's very interesting. I don't know if people have understood the ramifications of what high retail participation in the markets means, but I think fundamentally it's a very good thing, and we're excited to be a part of it.
My good friend Jim Cramer has got a question down from the New York Stock Exchange. Jim?
All right. Hi, Jim.
Certainly. Hey, Vlad, how are you? Congratulations on a great day for you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yes, same. And I know that we had you on at the very beginning when I was in California, and I always felt that you were about democratization. I am concerned when I saw the actual documents. A huge number of people are options trader. I was an options trader when I was at Goldman Sachs, but there's a lot of possibility of losing money in options. Do you think that many of your options traders actually take delivery of common stock? Is it an onboard way, or are they just really given to options and don't want to own common stock?
Well, let me tell you this, Jim. So Robinhood, our top value is safety first. And so all of the work that we've been doing on the options platform is to make sure that it's clear to customers what they're buying. And we've made a lot of great work around the edge cases of what options trading is, because it is complicated. It's for more advanced customers. We've been investing a whole lot in education. But I think fundamentally there's customers that are very interested in it for a variety of different use cases, and it is a powerful tool that's been reserved for wealthier, more sophisticated investors up until recently, and we're proud to drive that accessibility to a broader audience.
Vlad, it's Morgan. Congratulations today. I asked this question knowing hindsight is 2020, but if you could go back to January, would you have done things differently?
I would say it's there's always things we could have done better, and I'm the first to say that. But it's been an amazing 6 months, and it really 18 months and much more than that. If you had asked me 6 years ago, would I have thought that in 6 years we would have over 22 million customers, over 100 billion in assets under custody as of Q2? I think what we've delivered for customers and the size of the business, I don't think I would have been able to guess that.
Vlad, when I look at what the 22 million are about, I want to know whether they trade every day. Sometimes we see these stocks, and they're like 20 million shares outstanding, and they trade 150 million. I mean, do you have people who are just glued to the app? And will they stay glued to the app when we get the unemployment benefits lower, when more jobs come back? I'm trying to get the just kind of like who your people are, because I want them in today and not flipping the stock.
Our customers do a variety of things. I mean, most people aren't trading every single day. They're looking at their watch lists, they're reading the news, they're looking at their portfolios, and in some cases making adjustments. But we keep adding more and more content that educates customers, that keeps them informed, and we'll continue to do that, as well as adding more products that they can use through Robinhood.
Vlad, it's David Faber. Final question from us here at the NYSE. Morgan had asked you about that January period. I mean, what did you take away from that? You're a technology company, but you're a financial technology company. And when those peak margin calls were coming in with big volume, what did you learn about being the financial part of a technology company and all the regulations and all the things that come along with that? And how are you going to apply it now?
Oh, I think in those short few weeks around end of January, early February, we certainly learned a lot. We got a whole lot of work done, strengthening everything across the board, not just the balance sheet, but customer support. We made it a lot easier for customers that want to come back to the service. We had a lot of those at the time to actually come back. And we've seen a lot of increases in activity through Q1 and Q2. It wasn't just January, but April and May. And I think it's been a better and better experience for our customers every time.
Were you surprised by that? Because, a lot of times when a business has a major challenge, a customer-facing business has a challenge, the customer walks. And in your case, they didn't walk. They actually kept, even more came on. How did you think about that?
Well, at the time, we were just making sure that we were focused on the basics. Like, how can we make sure our service is reliable and robust and stable through through all of the load that we were seeing, which was unprecedented at the time? How can we make sure customer support is working? And how do we get better every single day? And I think it speaks to how much customers love the product fundamentally. They're continuing to refer their friends. 80+% of our new growth is organic and word of mouth. And we think we've just scratched the surface on that. I think there's a lot more that we could do to serve people.
Long term, how much of the business do you think is crypto? And the reason I ask is we interviewed Elizabeth Warren, Senator Elizabeth Warren, yesterday, and she talked about crypto in the context of snake oil, and in the context of what she said were snake oil salesmen, and she said this is a sector that needs to be regulated. And so what do you think is going to come down the pike when it comes to regulation of crypto and how it might affect you?
I think, we're going to be a participant. It's clear that our customers are interested in this asset class, and I think it's becoming a more and more widely accepted asset class. You're seeing institutions taking a bigger role. It's global by nature, which I think presents an interesting opportunity for Robinhood because it's a accelerant potentially for international expansion into certain markets. So of course we're going to have to continue constructive dialogue, and people are trying to figure out what the regulatory framework is going to be, and we welcome that.
What do you think is the defensive moat around Robinhood?
I think there's a lot. I think the brand Robinhood really stands for this next generation of consumers, and I don't think other incumbent brokers can own the message of being for the next generation and democratizing as much as we can. And I think that resonates with more and more people. I mean, it's a message that has kind of snowballed, especially in the past 10 years. Of course, it's more than the brand. I think we've delivered the goods. When we say we're democratizing access to finance, it's not just a slogan for us, but you can see that through all of our products, like the stock trading business, crypto, options, our debit card and savings products, and more recently IPO access, which allows customers to participate
on IPOs.
Yeah.
So given this IPO, what is success for you? When you talked to the bankers at Goldman Sachs yesterday and you were trying to set the price, it did start, or was at the lower end of the range at $38. Did you say to yourself, I want a 10%, if we can get a 10% pop on day one, that's great. 20%, I don't want it to go down. Tell us the way you thought about it.
The way that we like to run the business, it goes back to our top value, safety first. We generally like to be conservative, and I know that there's a lot of misconceptions around Robinhood and how we operate, but we like to be conservative, and what we wanted to make sure is that everyone is set up for long-term success. I mean, ultimately, it's great to be here in Times Square, but it is a moment in time, and you're going to find that Jason, our CFO, and I aren't going to be commenting too much on day-to-day price fluctuations and what we want to see. We want to be a long-term business that adds more and more value to customers, and these short-term fluctuations over the long run just wash out. And we'd like to be a heavy company, in the words of Benjamin Graham.
And how much influence do you think your shareholders should have on the company? I ask because of the control nature of the way you structured the governance.
I think we'd obviously like to hear from our shareholders. We're going to respect all of them, retail and institutional, and maintain really healthy dialogue. I think that you mentioned the share structure.
Right.
We think the reason that that's become more important and more prevalent is because to run a short-term business, it's good to avoid short-term distractions. To run a long-term business, it's important to avoid those types of distractions. And we think this positions us well to be a long-term focused company that takes big bets and continues to challenge the status quo.
And finally, when investors today think about your company, should they think about you as a competitor, if you will, when they're thinking about the comps, the comparables, to the Coinbases of the world, to certain banks, to a brokerage firm? What do you think the fair comp is?
I don't know if I'm the best person to tell investors what our comps are. What I'm focused on is customers. I think it's a technology company that's very financial, that's obviously in financial services. I think it's a unique company. There's not a lot of companies with our growth profile and and our product set in financial services. So it's certainly a unique opportunity and a unique business that we're building.
5 years from now, what does this company look like?
5 years from now, we want Robinhood to be the most trusted and most culturally relevant money app worldwide. So not just investing, we're already going beyond investing, and not just in the U.S. as well.
They're doing electric
we
vehicles.
wish you a lot of luck with it. Congratulations on a milestone day for you, and we hope to see you again very, very soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good to be here with you.
Good to see you in person, no less, after all this time. Carl, back to you.
Andrew Ross Sorkin, thank you very much. With Vlad Tenev, again, Robinhood pricing at 38, indicated now to open at 41. Jim, a lot in there.
Yeah, it's at 42 now.
And that line about we like to be conservative pertained exactly to pricing.
Yes, I think Vlad Tenev has changed rather. I don't know. He's metamorphosed. The metamorphosis of Vlad Tenev since even those congressional hearings is rather amazing. Emphasizing safety. That's what you have to do. Talking about education, trying to get people to understand the broader portfolio of what they have as a product. All great. I just wanted to be sure that given an options-based investor and given the amount of trading that happens, and I'm glad he assuaged us in that, but I feared that there'd be flippers. I think David, I felt personally that what he said is there really are, sure, there are a lot of options guys fast going, but there are a lot of people who seem to be embedded in the stock market who weren't before, and that would be very positive for our country and our business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can, if you keep them fully engaged over a longer period of time, as you've talked about so often.
So now it's saying $40
of this stock,
IPO.
we'll see. Right now, I guess it's looking fairly strong. I'm not sure, but I think there's some early indications that I've seen.
I think Vlad Tenev had a lot to do with more to do than anybody else that I've known who worked with Goldman to get a deal priced right, and I think that that's terrific. He's pro-customer, my friend.
Right, although earlier you were saying maybe they should have priced it at 25.
Well, I wanted to be sure that there was. I feared flippers. It doesn't appear to have that many flippers.
Yeah, listen, we'll see. We'll see how it performs, but they did manage to allocate.
You make a determination now. Coinbase was looking 400. I was telling people not to pay 400, and then the
lies. That's a lie.
Says pay 399. No.
The question about the moat, the competitive moat.
Right.
He didn't say technology, algorithms. He said brand. Is that sticky enough?
I think that's right. I think that the people who are in the market are people who got in because of Robinhood. There's a tremendous number of surveys which show that they're loyal to Robinhood. And the great point that Andrew meant, which is that even after the so-called fiasco of the last week of January, first week of February, more people came in. I was watching the number of people, looking at the app store and seeing that even more people came in. And Morgan, one of the things that's incredible is that these are people who truly believe that it is a revolution, and they're part of it, and it's a positive revolution.
It's very positive. It potentially represents what we're seeing happening in real time right now. Represents a fundamental shift, right? And you can talk about what's happened in the meme stop specifically in this idea of what I've called crowdsourced activist investing that we've seen since the beginning of the year as well. But to your point, the fact that you see more people engaged. We can talk about income inequality and the fact that assets and the increase in value we've seen in assets over not just the last year, but the last decade, and what that's done to that divide in this country, to see more people, that democratization, more people getting invested and being able to benefit from that process. That's only a good thing for the middle class. You can make that argument. That being said, in terms of this specifically, payment for order flow, and we talked about it a little bit. He was pressed on it, a little bit in this conversation that we all just had. But what he said about we're going to have to keep up a dialogue with the media about what payment for order flow is, and that it could be better explained. But it's not the media that's the risk around payment for order flow. It's Gensler.
But
right?
You raised so many good points. In particular, I think this notion of this whole new people, middle class, younger people, our business was dying. It became a business for dinosaurs. And then,
you mean financial services?
Yes. Well, because they decided that they just wanted index funds. Now they do index funds here, but they pick stocks, and they care about stocks. Now, David, don't look askance at me, because it's absolutely true.
No, I know.
Oh, you just think they look at AMC and GameStop?
No, I don't.
They love stocks.
And crypto.
They love crypto.
And crypto.
They're inventive. What Morgan just said. Think about what Morgan just said. This is a crowdsourced attempt to be able to make money. And that was lost. I remember when Dick Grasso ran this place, and he was trying to talk about how people should own a piece of America. Boy, we never forget that. You know, Warren Buffett said that's a mistake. You want to own just the S&P. This man's not that. I like that.
I'm really curious to see what that allocation ends up being to retail investors. And he didn't actually answer that question.
No.
And we've been
Who
hearing
is
that
getting
potential.
it?
It's potentially the lower end of that 20 to 35% range, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And of course, you know, what kind of pop potentially we get in this
Very exciting
game today and
Very
beyond.
exciting. Well, meme and beyond.
And beyond.
It's very meta, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jim, how about tonight?
I'm in the metaverse. Okay, I've got one of the largest agriculture companies has been red hot, Agco. Dexcom, with glucose monitor. We got to find about they're competing against Abbott for terrible diabetes epidemic. And then I got a guy, Vlad Tenev.
Look at that.
So he's doing the pre and post.
Well,
Like
I
you,
shouldn't.
pre-game, post-game.
Yeah.
It's certainly his day. Yes, it's Vlad money tonight. It's Vlad money.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Morgan, it's great to be with you too and do your
I kind of
show.
like having 4 on the desk as well, like old times, right? Nice.
Yeah, had to fight hard for that.
I want to hear more about the Money app 5 years from now.
Oh my God, I'm gonna hear what PayPal's going to do.
Alrighty. We're still waiting for the IPO. I don't even know how much longer. Probably a couple hours, to be honest. Indicated to open out at $40.25 as of 5 minutes ago. So it's slightly under 41 or 42, like we talked about earlier. AMC forming a nice head and shoulders here, with the 40.18 being the high, still in the green territory. Let's see how this closes. I'd ideally want a 40 close, above 40 close. I think that would set us up for success tomorrow. But we also have the AGM after hours. Ortex is still showing 15.44% on the SI. Market's still looking green. Oh, what is going on? We talked about 670s today, and look what just happened. 670s. The AI day on August 19 is really hyped up, or what? This is nuts. Straight rockets. 672 high for Tesla. The choppiness on this stock has been real. Pretty sure it'll come back down to like 650. But it actually hits 670s right now. Jeez. AMC honoring that head and shoulders. I wouldn't be surprised if we come down under 39. I guess we should be doing a power hour stream later. Let's see, AMC AGM. It's been a minute since we've done a power hour stream. Annual meeting for AMC and the Robinhood IPO is in the same day. It just has me thinking about what's really going on behind the scenes today. We've seen so much, including congressional draft ratings yesterday, FUD, PFOF, etc. Keep your eyes open. Are these conspiracies, man? Does it have a time here on the website? AMC Entertainment reschedules its annual meeting to July 29, which is today. It was initially due on June 2nd, guys, so it's been some time that we've been waiting. Let me sign up for the... No, wait, do we need to sign up? Contact, no. No, it should just be on the website, too, for those of you that are wondering. AMC Investor Relations. Close this. Yeah, it's usually around midday, so I think I have like a couple hours. So if you guys did enjoy this stream, I appreciate it if you leave a like on the video. We're going to be back later on, so if you guys want to tune in, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. But for now, AMC is, from the looks of it, completing a head and shoulders pattern. So I wouldn't be surprised if it finds support right around the 38.70 level. And there it is, coming down under 39. Not surprised. I'm kind of bummed out about Tesla. but it is what it is. Let's see if it gives us an opportunity to dip by it, possibly early next week. I don't think it'll come down to a price I want to hop in at tomorrow. SPY still looking green, so AMC and Hood, aka Robinhood, is definitely on my watch for a dip buy. So with that being said, I will see you guys in a couple of hours. Peace out. Oh my gosh, I have my macroeconomics final today too. Damn, man, I forgot. But I think that's due at midnight. We'll still be back.